seen Yogi and Boo Boo yet? Dang. We should have brought a picnic basket.
He'll be out.
Alright.
He'll be hungry.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I just got through filming an ARFCOM video. I did a project for 1,000 yards for $1,000, and that's also the rifle that I took on my spring black bear hunt in Montana. Had an absolute blast, and of course I want to tell you guys about it. So let's sit down and have a minute, and I'm going to tell you all about my experience in Montana. Hey guys, I am back from my trip to Montana. I had an absolute blast at the Spotted Bear Ranch in Montana. That's Hungry Horse, Montana. The nearest airport is FCA Kalispell. You fly into Kalispell, and the drive is 78 miles, but it takes 3.5 hours because that place is so remote. And I mean, when I say remote, it is way out there. They're off-grid completely. Everything, they pump their own water, they have their own generator. Everything is completely self-contained, and I thought that was really awesome. As for the generator only ran for a few hours in the morning and a few hours of the evening. So basically, your cell phone, if you wanted to use it to take pictures or whatnot, like my GoPro, I needed to charge the batteries and things, you better charge them in those windows. Now that proved to be a little bit of a challenge, but boy was it a blessing. Getting out there and disconnecting, no cell coverage. Somebody's calling me. I don't want to hear from you. No internet, with the exception, they do have satellite internet, and it only works right there in the dining room. But now, it only works when the cloud cover isn't too thick. You know, the whole time I was up there, it rained. Montana just blessed me with a whole bunch of rain. But now, I really liked only having internet for maybe 15 minutes of the morning and maybe 15 minutes of the evening. It felt really nice to get out there and disconnect. The phone couldn't ring, nobody could reach you about your car's extended warranty, and I loved it. Now, as for the staff, man, everybody there, they treat that place like it's a privilege to be there. You know, it looks like an amazing lifestyle. Well, actually, I hated to leave. When the guy come up, he was all dressed in black, and I called him the Undertaker when he took me away. I was really upset that I had to leave. But now back to the staff. They all understand that it's a lifestyle and a privilege to stay there and live in that. And they absolutely treated you awesome. They were very generous. You know, the food was amazing. Dude, fella in the kitchen, they called him lame, L-A-M-E, but boy, he wasn't lame in front of a stove, man. He made some meals that would just knock your eyeballs out. And I indulged very gratuitously. You know, in my head, I was like, man, if I don't hike 30 miles, I don't know how far I've hiked, you know? So I just kept eating and eating and eating, you know, everything they put out in front of me, I consumed, and golly bum, I was better off for it. But now I'm coming back, I've started cutting back on my eating, that way we get back slimmed down and get back in some better shape. That way we go up there, we can hike a lot more to hike a lot better. Of course, when I got up there, I realized that I got winded at 6,400 feet, which is a little bit gratuitous to me because I'm usually between 1,100 feet and sea level. So going to 6,400 feet before I got winded with a 10-pound rifle and a rain-soaked jacket and all that, 6,400 feet kind of felt a little flattering. But now my guides for that spring black bear hunt, of course, that's the whole reason I went up there. My guides were Billy and Jay. Now, Billy and Jay, they're a couple young guys, and they're just as ambitious to hike. If you wanted to hike it, they were game to hike it. So, man, we got up there, and we walked fire roads, and we bushwhacked and went up straight up the side of mountains and all sorts of stuff, all in the rain.
These guides just take you wherever.
We went to places that were just gorgeous and lush and green, and we also went to some places that were burn scar. Now, they had a forest fire run through like 4 years ago, and it's still very just burnt and black. There's not a lot of vegetation. You know, you see behind me here in Tennessee, it don't take long for this stuff to jump up because we've got a good growing season. Now, in Montana, they don't have a very good growth season. So those 4-year-old burn scars still look pretty fresh. So now we got out there in that burn scar, we scouted for bear. Now basically the bears just come out of hibernation. It snapped off cold and rainy, and a matter of fact, the Tuesday that I was there, I saw snow in May. So the Tuesday that I was there, we had snow. I knew when I stepped out of the cabin and there's a frost on the ground and mush, I said, yep, it'll be even thicker in the mountains. And of course, we went up in the mountains and saw all sorts of snow. Beautiful sights, had a great time. I just wish that the weather had cooperated and I had put a nice trophy black bear on the ground. That was what I absolutely wanted. I wanted to go to Montana, put down a bear. I was going to donate some of the meat to the lodge, you know, because they were so generous as to feeding me and all of the amenities up there. I wanted to donate half of the bear to them. And of course, I was going to bring home half the bear, the hide, the skull, and keep them for trophies for me. But fortunately, bear, I'll see you next year.
So, you know, he just brought up a good point. What was that?
We're literally doing everything they tell you not to do while in bear country. So be quiet, sneak against the wind, go to bear areas. I mean, we're doing everything they say to get attacked. But
Yeah,
we're the bears.
at this point, I kind of welcome an attack.
We don't look delicious enough.
Did you bring the apple with you?
No, I didn't bring the apple.
You can put it between my butt cheeks all the way out in the field.
But yeah, we're sitting here at this clearing. It looks berry as berry can be.
Damn grass.
And the pursuit goes on.
Right. A day or two. Probably a day or two. Starting to oxidize.
Well, it needs to be like today, about 2.
Pad, toes, and claws. Big boy.
Just can't shoot him. Now this stuff right here, when this grows up,
That's false hollow bore, yeah.
are you aware of the fishing purpose of it?
Uh-uh.
Or it's illegal in all states. When it grows up, the seeds, you grind them up. On still water, you throw them down. The fish float up. It's a neurotoxin.
I know when the horses eat it, they foam at the mouth.
Yeah, that's a neurotoxin. It's either mullein or mullein. It's M-U-L-L-E-I-N. If it's illegal to fish with, that means it works.
Survival tip of the day.
Yes. Hey, baby girl, you want to jump in my freezer? And there's elk. Just not even 500 feet from the entrance.
This is the first time you've seen sunshine since you've been here?
Yeah, first time I've seen sunshine.
So now as for the rifle, I took the TC Venture II in 308, topped it with a Riton X3 Primal 3x15x44. This setup proved to be great. One of the reasons that I chose this was price, and another reason that I chose it is because of its finish. I knew that the weather in Montana was going to be incredibly just, well, erratic, unpredictable. And I mean, it rained the whole time. So basically this thing stayed soaked. I mean, I'm talking soaking wet. Then what I wound up doing was shoving this thing in a rifle case, jumping on an airplane, flying home. I stayed home for about 15 hours before I packed up and headed off to Texas for another week. Now this thing sat in a rifle case, stuffy and wet the whole time. And the only rust that I had was right here on a swivel stud. Now, that's not Thompson Center's fault. I'm sure they buy a pallet of these with probably cases of like 50,000 swivel studs. So that's not their fault. It actually cleaned up really nicely. And if I really wanted to, I could just unthread it and pop another one in for next to nothing. But it's still good. We're ready to go. It's not even pockmarked. But yeah, even underneath the stock, no rust. They've done a great job with it, and I hate to hear that Smith & Wesson is divesting from TC. That actually hurts my heart. But yeah, I really wanted to lay this thing on a trophy bear. It just didn't happen. But man, I'll see you next year, bear. I mean, seriously, I am wanting to go give it another go to see if we can't find us a black bear. Of course, I would love to go back to Spotted Bear Ranch. Man, that place was just awesome. Special thanks to those guys for the experience. It was just so much fun. I enjoyed meeting everybody. Everybody up there, like I said, was just in a different mood. There was a different air about the place. Just no stress, disconnect. You know, I almost wish that I'd gone fishing too. Their guides would have been awesome and amazing to take out on the river. I would have just enjoyed that as well. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video about my experience. I know I really enjoyed the trip. I loved it. I hate that I had to leave. Like I said, I called that fella the Undertaker because he led me away from my happy place. Montana genuinely is the last best place, and I really do hope that I go up there again. But now guys, I've got a Linktree link down below. If you want to support the channel, go click on those links before you do your normal shopping. You can literally support the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Some of them will save you a little bit of money. I know one of the links will save you 5% and shipping. So you can support the channel and save some cash. So like I said, you'll see it down below, Linktree/PatRMG. Go click on that, click on the link, get the cookie, go do your shopping. But anyway, hit that thumbs up, leave me an awesome comment. We'll see you next video. I love you.
If you had expectations versus reality, I really didn't know what to expect to get here, but I think it's probably far better than anything I could have expected. So far, this place is just A1.